Hey everyone. So since the competition season is really starting to pick up right now, I figured I'd just do a little quick video talking about some things I wish that I knew when I first got into competing in the bodybuilding world. So I've been a coach for about 5 years and I've been competing since 2018. I've competed in 6 shows now and I've helped so many women get on stage as opposing coach as well as have so many friends within the industry. And I just wanted to bring some of my mistakes and knowledge out to you guys so that hopefully I can save some people from making the mistakes I did. So probably one of the biggest things that I wish back then I would have known is to not sweat the small stuff. So worrying about, oh my gosh, I need to eat exactly 30 minutes after my workout, or I need this fancy supplement, or I need an Oura ring, or I need to track all these tiny, minute little things, and getting so in your head about it, it's not worthwhile. It's a lot of times more stressful. And if you think big picture and focus on just working out hard in the gym, eating good, healthy food that's going to fuel your body, getting sleep, keeping your stress down, that's going to be so much more beneficial. I used to always get up in a tizzy whenever I'd hear the newest thing or the newest fad or what everyone was talking about that you should or shouldn't be doing. And I've learned now just focusing on the things that make my body feel good and giving myself a challenge just overall keeps my stress down, not worrying about what else everyone is doing and just focusing on how to make myself better makes such a huge difference on not only how well your prep goes, but your enjoyment of it as well. Next thing I wish I knew. I wish I knew to not listen to everyone. And I know that sounds a little obvious and really easy to think, but a lot of times it's very easy to have too many cooks in the kitchen. Bob that works out at your gym that's competed before, or Sally Lou that's done a show in a different organization, as good as their intentions may be, do not take everything they say to heart, okay? Trust the people you pay, okay? But I mean trust them within reason. Now, if your coach is telling you to do something insane, unsafe, unreasonable, yeah, get someone else's opinion. But at the end of the day, everyone else's opinion is noise. And when you're in prep and you're trying to go for a goal and you're focused, you need to block out the noise because it'll drive you insane. So just understanding, you can have friends, you can have coaches that do it, but be sparing with whose opinions you let in, and just, don't ask everyone, hey, do you think I'm going to be ready? Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, what about that? Because at the end of the day, you need to have trust in the plan that's set out for you and in who you've chosen. I'm not saying you have to do it all alone, but there should be a balance of don't have everyone in your ear because it becomes extremely stressful when you're hearing different things from each side and then you can't choose which way to go. Even if maybe, you're going to have ups and downs, but you need to be certain in it because that's the only way that you're going to get feedback and find out if what you're doing is right or wrong versus doing a piece of this, a piece of that, a piece of this. Because then you're not actually following any of the plans or any of the ideas that you've set forth, and you're just kind of piecing everything together, and you won't know what does or does not work. On the topic of who you listen to, if your coach ignores you, leave them. Leave them. Your coach should respond to each and every one of your check-ins. Period. Even if nothing is changing on your plan, you should get a response. There is no reason for them not to respond. If something's going on, they can either send out a mass text, let everyone know, etc. But if you have multiple times where you check in with your coach and they don't tell you anything and you don't know what to do, especially if you're in prep, run. Run away. Get someone new. You should be hearing back from them. You are not coaching yourself. You're paying someone to coach you. If they're not responding to you, you need to find someone else. Next thing, this one's going to be unpopular, but stop scrolling and looking at food all day. Don't do it to yourself. If you start watching and idealizing food, you're going to give yourself some sort of obsessions or problems. Of course, everyone's feed, things pop up here or there, but you do not need your entire Instagram home screen, TikTok For You page, Instagram Explore page to be all cookies, cakes, candies. You don't need it. I promise you. It's totally cool to pick out a place or two post-show with where you're going to be competing at, but don't get yourself in the habit of scrolling and looking at food all day, because you need to focus on fueling your body and not what you can't have, because that starts to lead you towards restrictive mindsets and can go down a very deep hole. It also makes it so that when you're allowed a little bit of freedom post-show with your reverse, it's very hard to say no to it, because you've been ingraining your brain for weeks on end that all you crave is that food, and it gives you dopamine on your phone, and it's going to be really, really hard for you to focus on getting your food intake gradually up and getting back to having a normal, healthy life post-show. On another note with food, for my ladies that are on macros, don't fit a bunch of whatever you can in your macros. Focus on fueling your body, because not only will you, one, get more food quantity, you'll feel better. When you just have like forcing things in or macro hoarding till the end of the night, you're reinforcing negative habits versus fueling your body throughout the day so that your cravings and your hunger are managed consistently across the course of your whole day, versus having this insatiable hunger or cravings throughout the day, and then at the night having one semi-satisfying meal that you hoarded all your macros for, or that you played around with stuff and were starved all day. Your nutrition matters from when you wake up through when you go to bed. So carefully plan things out. That's why a lot of people do like meal plans, because it forces them to focus on fueling their body at each meal evenly, and maybe with a little focus around that workout. So even if you're on macros, just be smart with some of your choices. We've all done this in the past, but I promise you, the sooner you get to mainly whole food sources, and if you do have macros and your coach is okay with here and there, maybe something to take the edge off, that's fine, but you shouldn't be going out of your way to try to fit in whatever you can all the way through prep. And probably one of the biggest things that I learned throughout my time bodybuilding is that a positive perspective changes everything. So when I started bodybuilding, probably after my second show, I didn't have a great outcome placing wise, and it really got me in my head, and I was harder on myself than I probably should have been. And for about 2 years after that, I kind of bodybuilt not out of a sense of love, but of that I had to prove myself and that I didn't feel worthy enough. And I kind of drove myself into the ground, and I didn't do it from a place of happiness and passion for fitness and trying to improve myself and my health and my mental, but I kind of had a chip on my shoulder. And what I learned was, after that period of time, I started to do it just out of joy, out of, celebrating what I can do. Let me prove to myself, I know I can do this. I still have it. Do it because I can, not because I have to show anyone. And I made so much more progress at that point. Trying to hate yourself into being better, or be negative towards where you're at just because you're not where you want to be, is not going to make the distance. You can do all of this out of a place of love and abundance and do extremely well. If anything, you're going to do better, and you're going to uplift people around you, and you're going to find better systems because you're doing it out of a place of happiness. And especially when it comes to posing, how you feel about yourself in here and up here shows through the expression in your body. So don't be afraid to be positive. It's okay if you're not at your goal body or what your goals are for bodybuilding yet. It's okay to be on the chase. You can still be satisfied with how far you've come and come at it from a positive light. So that was just a few little things, a little bit of brief stories, just to kind of share some of my experiences. Let me know if any of those were helpful, or if you want any further stories about some of those. I have plenty from over the years, but I thought I would just break up some of the vlogs with a little chit chat and advice for you guys. So have a good one, and I will talk at you all later.